Here's a question. How do players consistently get over 15 kills a game? Meanwhile, I'm struggling to barely get 3. Well, here I'm going to give you 16 tips to get high kill games. If somehow you already know all of them, then you should be Crimson. To keep things easy, I'm simply going to be saying good play or bad play every time our team engages in making some sort of a decision. So first things first, we're going to be trying to get a contract, but we got to be aware of the fact that, of course, we are landing next to other enemies. So yes, Kaz is going to jump down and get the contract, but we got to know we're going to be fighting right away. So we got players right up on us. We're going to be fighting with our core 45. And guys, I can't stress it enough. Practice using your core just for situations like that. Yes, the other enemy was picking up a gun, but you have no idea what it could have been. So you have to be sure that you can hit your shots with your pistol. But we are now going to be flying really quickly out of chemical and just trying to get the scavenger done so we can get our loadout as quickly as we possibly can. So we got more players up on top of us. Good shots coming out from Kaz right there. Almost losing that actually because of the stair glitch by the enemy, but able to clean it up. And now sitting on 2 kills relatively quickly. And I think our team's actually still stuck a little bit behind us over at Chemical. They had some other issues over there as far as fighting, but we got another player here finding the same demise as his teammate right there, and it actually is going to be a wipe. So we're sitting in a pretty decent spot, but it looks like we're actually going to opt to fight here instead over at Harbor instead of going and finishing our scab. I don't really mind this too much since we do have players right in front of us, and we are actually sitting on a decent amount of money, and if we can take out these players, we can also go over here and loot and also take the money from these enemies as well too. So I do like that we are in fact staying relatively close together, at least with Scythe and Kaz right up on each other, but Carnage is actually a little bit behind and he was in the middle of a fight. I think there's somebody up above us at top of Harbor here. We've got players right in front of us once again. Great shots, great centering coming out from Kaz right there. It's going to drop that player basically for free, pushing up onto the roof of Harbor, trying to assist against the player that Carnage was fighting from a distance. Carnage now making his way over. This is one thing too, as I'm watching along, I'm always checking the minimap as if I was playing. I'm scouting out that information whenever I possibly can. The number one priority is to look for weapon pings because of course that's where the enemies are. But the second most important thing about looking at your minimap is making sure that you are close to your team, or better yet, you know where your team is. Are you separated? Are you on different floors? Are you in different buildings completely? Is somebody in the middle of a fight and actually got eliminated? You got to be super aware of those things because that should be dictating to you what type of fights you should be taking or running away from. Speaking of taking fights, we actually now just grabbed our loadout and we're going to be using the WSP9, and I will say this gun it goes crazy as you're going to see right here. So deleting players immediately as this gun has crazy range and it also has crazy damage output. So I highly recommend checking out this loadout, and I'm going to throw it up on the screen right here for you guys as well too. And as I say that, Kaz actually is going to go down for a second here, but Scythe still playing very closely, able to clean that up, and he's going to get this tap right here as well. I will say this, guys, this is very important as well. If you happen to be in a situation where your team is still fighting and you have to burn your self-revive, just do it. Don't sit there looking for a tap or waiting for your team to come and tap you because you want to save $4,000. It puts them into an extremely risky situation by stopping the fight and then also making a 2v3 into now a 1v3 if your other teammate is now stuck fighting by themselves. So as we saw, Kaz actually got caught out on the side towards prison, unfortunately going down, but making his way back in. He sees his entire team now actually in shambles right now. Scythe going down, Carnage actually on respawn as well too. So instead he's going to opt to fly away from where we currently were. Oh, hold on. Smart play. This is a good play right here from Kaz, actually recognizing to have some trigger discipline here and not actually push up on this enemy right away just because he saw him. Instead, catching him in a bad position, getting slammed, WSP9 putting in work once again. But like I was mentioning before, he flew towards the loadout to give his team a chance to reset. More players in front of us. I don't mind this at all. Just pre-firing before dashing down that lane and also cleaning up yet again with a WSP9. Sitting on 8 kills already. Make that 9 kills and just get a little bit of pepper on that player who's trying to run up the stairs into prison there. Okay. We got shots outside of the showers. We're going to have somebody right behind us as well. That horrible COD timing right there, but Carnage actually able to clean it up in a second there. So great collapse coming in from Carnage there. Everybody playing all close together here, bottom showers. This is chaos in the actual streets right now as well too. We got players all over the loadout just trying to get in the windows and also just trying to not have this situation happen right here. So I will say some pretty bad awareness on the enemy team right there, letting that happen. Oh, hold on, as I say that, speaking of enemy team, another enemy team running into our team and cleaning up both of our boys, Scythe and Carnage, immediately. So right here, Kaz is forced to make a smart decision here and rotate away rather than saying, you know what, these guys are probably weak and have a chance to maybe just steal a cheeky kill right here. You know, I have 11 kills. I'm already positive SR, but you know what? I'm just going to sell the game for no reason. Instead, he doesn't do that. So this is a very good play. And I'll even say this is a key moment in the game. And it's a very subtle key moment. And that is not selling the game for greed. I see way too many of you guys selling the game because you want to get that delicious 5 SR that could also cost you 60 SR because you lost the game in 9th place. So the smart play there, keeping the game alive, allowing the whole team to get back to the loadout, regain, and then push as a unit once again towards showers here. Okay, everybody all together. We got players right in front of us. A little bit of dancing here in front of the doorway here, but never everybody's all close together here. We're kind of in a weird spot, stuck in that little corridor, but now I'm going to step out and get yet another kill. I think that's Kaz sitting on 14 now, kind of popping off, kind of going crazy here. Good cleanup by Scythe as well, still trapped down in bottom showers. And I will say, as far as rotating out here, we definitely want to try and escape this area before we get collapsed on again. Yes, there's tons of loot and tons of resources for us to fight here if we want to, but if we get collapsed on, we already had some pretty scary spots where we had at least 1 or 2 plays going down in the blink of an eye, and it could also very easily turn into all 3 of us, and that's the game just like that. So I'd be thinking to rotate out of here, which I think we're going to do right here, just scouting out the area. I think we're going to be pushing our way up towards the 2nd floor. So 2nd floor prison here. This, for those of you that don't know, people call this lane. This what we're looking down right here. And to our left, we call that carpets. So if you say there's somebody carpets or a Scythe is coming out right here, that would be the call for that area. Here we're trying to push up to the roof. We got 14 kills on the board. I don't know if I love this push as far as like creeping up quite as high as we did. I don't mind it because, yes, it was actually looking the wrong way, so it worked out well for us. But I do like to play a stair glitch right there, typically pushing up the stairs at the top of prison there and then just opening the door and then using the stairs as a head glitch. It's super broken and you can see extremely far. So just be careful with that, but it happened to work out, so we're absolutely chilling. Moving forward here, I don't mind this as well. We have a bit of a lane fight, but we got mortars on top of us as well. Carnage actually getting hit by that as well. I hate to see that, but he's a little bit isolated. We got 2 players on the left, 2 players on the right, being Scythe and Kaz, a player falling down. A good decision right here by Kaz actually to not jump down after that player. We have maximum height and our entire team is together, and if we were to jump down, could have been a disaster for Kaz right there, because when a player gets scared on an enemy team and they start running, they have no idea where they are running to. They could be running to their own team, or even worse, they could be running into another team, and now you're going to get baited into running into a whole other team and then go down for free. Great shots right here. That player tried to go for the head glitch like I had mentioned before on the stairs, but we just jumped right up on top of him, cleaned him out basically for free because we were so close to him. Okay, another player down low. Kaz kind of on the hunt here, making his way back up. He's using a little jump spot there on the scaffolding. Back to the roof. We got players falling into our left. Guy on the AC kind of on a nasty head glitch. Got to be careful here. Going to go down, unfortunately. Caught in a crossfire. And I think Scythe either able to clean this up or he's going to have to back up immediately. One thing, unfortunately, and I'm going to point this out as well, on the minimap, during this gunfight, Carnage is in another dimension, unfortunately. He is safe here, but during that fight, he actually, I think, either went to the ground or outside of prison somehow and was completely separated from his team. It worked out here because he happened to stay alive, but I would have liked to see the entire team stay together on the roof there and actually fight that, because there's no real reason. Number one, there's no reason why Kaz should have gone down, and number two, probably could have just won that fight. But here we are, Kaz sitting on 16 kills in a ranked match, already at 102 SR as well. So making his way back in, gonna land 3rd floor here, or 2nd floor. Grab some loot just really quickly, stay back with his team. And this is a smart move right here as well too. He did not land right on his loot because he knows there's a ton of fighting that just happened and there's tons of meta weapons on the ground. So this is a fantastic play on Kaz's part to say, I don't need my guns. I can play with anybody's guns because everybody has meta weapons. He has a meta SOA and he has an HRM9. Whether or not he's going to use them or not immediately, because I think he's about to get to his weapons in a second here, is the fact that he didn't dive bomb the roof and get shot out of the air because he wanted his guns. He's inching his way forward here. He's made it back to his WSP9, the beloved SMG. He's about to get his, I think he has his SOA as well too. He still has the other SOA, but it's still a very strong build, so nothing wrong with that. Right here, once again, we have ultimate height back to the roof, and everybody, once again, at this point, all staying together. And if you look at the minimap, we're all facing the same way. We're not fighting multiple fights. We're not getting split up as well. So we can afford to actually push forward here, slamming this player and finishing him off with the throwing knife as well. So we see on the minimap, we've got players down towards grandmas. We've got mortars as well. So we've got to push over to the other side. We don't have to jump off the roof here. We don't have to panic completely by any means. But we're in a very strong position here. So at this point as well, I'll be taking a quick look behind us to make sure that nobody's coming up the stairs at the last moment, because that's one of the things too with the gas coming in towards the end of the game. If somebody is in a bad position, they will typically creep in with the edge of gas, kind of like this. That player just came up the ladder at the last second as gas was pushing him in, and he actually got caught there. So that is calculated COD timing, which I can say is a real thing if you actually know how to manipulate it. We got players landing in front of us too as well. This player, once again, Kind of selling the bag, but I think he actually got away here, able to get down. But I will say, pretty bad play on the enemy's part there to just fly in like that when there's so many players on the roof. He got extremely lucky that he made a gas play to try to get down to his team. The fact that that worked for that player, I will say, I highly recommend not doing that because he should have gotten destroyed. So we see on the minimap, we got multiple players underneath us. We have maximum height, like I had said. The gas is pushed in past basically every other access route to the roof, except for the zip on the right and also the ladder to our left. We do have the scaffolding below us now. We're going to have this door in a second here. So everybody should be inside or in the courtyard at this point. We got players in front of us. Great live pings coming out from Scythe right there as well too. That makes it so much easier to try and push up on these enemies and know if they're going to double chow this hallway here, double chow the lane, or if they actually made their way downstairs as well. And it looks like they did. Casting on 17 kills now, 136 SR. Cooking right now. 146 after the placement bump. So we're top 3 right now, feeling fantastic, and we have absolute height. We are in the prime best position hands down right now. So we know for a fact, and this should not be rocket science, we know for a fact that the players that we're looking for are right below us. Here we are, as I say it, literally right below us, and getting a huge down right there is Kaz. Also, he didn't have Mountaineer, so a good play on his part. Oh, hold on, as I say this, before I explain, the WSP9, ladies and gentlemen, the WSP9. I was going to say, the good play that he made there is jumping down halfway and not having to pull his chute, because going from that distance, just like Scythe did, is not going to break your legs. So not even needing Mountaineer right there. So good heads up play on his part to know how to manipulate the map even without that perk. And jump inside here. This is going to be the end of the game. And just like that, that is going to be the end of the game. 18 kills for Kaz as well, popping off. So if you watch this video and you're thinking to yourself, I never get that many kills when I play with my team, then I highly recommend checking out this video right here.